Chapter 139. For the leader, a psalm of David. O Lord, you have searched me and known me. You knowest my downsitting and mine uprising. You understand my thought afar off. You measurest my going about and my lying down, and are acquainted with all my ways. For there is not a word in my tongue, but lo, O Lord, you knowest it altogether. You have hemmed me in behind and before, and laid your hand upon me. Such knowledge is too wonderful for me, too high. I cannot attain unto it. Whither shall I go from your spirit, or whither shall I flee from your presence? If I ascend up into heaven, you art there. If I make my bed in the netherworld, behold, you art there. If I take the wings of the morning and dwell in the uttermost parts of the sea, even there would your hand lead me, and your right hand would hold me. And if I say, surely the darkness shall envelop me, and the light about me shall be night, even the darkness is not too dark for you. But the night shineth as the day, the darkness is even as the light. For you have made my reins, you have knit me together in my mother's womb. I will give thanks unto you, for I am fearful and wonderfully made. Wonderful art your works, and that my soul knoweth right well. My frame was not hidden from you, when I was made in secret and curiously wrought in the lowest parts of the earth. Your eyes did see mine unformed substance, and in your book they were all written, even the days that were fashioned, when as yet there was none of them. How weighty also art your thoughts unto me, O God! How great is the sum of them! If I would count them, they are more in number than the sand. Were I to come to the end of them, I would still be with you. If you but would slay the wicked, O God, depart from me, therefore, you men of blood, who utter your name with wicked thought, that take it for falsehood, even your enemies. Do not I hate them, O Lord, that hate you, and do not I strive with those that rise up against you? I hate them with the utmost hatred. I count them mine enemies. Search me, O God, and know my heart, and try me, and know my thoughts, and see if there be any way in me that is grievous, and lead me in the way everlasting. All right, let's go back up to verse 1. Now, once again, we have this Psalm of David. It is a beautiful song, a psalm, even it's prayer. And it's a little bit of instruction here with this from the beloved, that chosen one, and he explains exactly what we should expect. And this is for the leader. The leader, or the one that is, we can say, in charge or leading in front, this one that's going forth, so to speak. We are going to pick it up here in verse 1. O Lord, you have searched me and known me, and the Lord has searched and does know. The Lord searches out, and he knows everybody. There's nobody going to be left out. The Lord knows everybody's way. There's nothing hidden from the Lord, nothing that he don't know. Verse 2, you knowest my downsitting and mine uprising. You understand my thought afar off. You know my downsitting and mine uprising. You know when I'm getting up, when I'm going to sit down, when I rest, when I go to work. You understand my thoughts afar off. You even know what I'm thinking. You know what I'm planning. You know all my thoughts that are not yet come forth. And for the Lord knows. The Lord knows our intention and our earnest expectation, as we're going to find out. He prescribed it. 3, you measurest my going about, my lying down, and art acquainted with all my ways. You measurest, you determine, you knoweth the length of, you have set, measured out. It's all done. It's all known. It's determined already. In my goings about, my lying down, whatever I do, you are acquainted with all my ways. You done know what's going to happen here. You've done set the program in motion. 4. For there is not a word in my tongue, but lo, O Lord, you knowest it altogether. There's not a word in my tongue. There ain't nothing I'm going to say that the Lord doesn't know about. He's done heard it before I said it. He heard the thought. He heard the intent coming forth, and he heard the audible word as well. For the Lord does know. Altogether he is. It's like it's a prescribed. It's something set in motion, and there's nothing we can do about it. 5. You have hemmed me in behind and before, and laid your hand upon me. You've hemmed me in, sewed me up, closed me in, bound me up from behind and before, in the past and now. There's nothing. We are closed up in our ways. We are set. We are already taken. You've laid your hand upon me. That's your work. That's your law. That's your ordinances, and that's what we're slowly reaching to here. Is the fact that the Lord has hemmed us up. We can't go this way. We can't go that way, but we must be straightforward, because His hand, His work, is upon us. 6. Such knowledge is too wonderful for me, too high. I cannot attain unto it. And such knowledge, such wisdom, such blessing is too wonderful. It's too great for me. Too high, too much, too great. I cannot attain to it. I cannot hold to it. I would not be able to accomplish the task if we look at it from that aspect. But the law, we will accomplish, we will achieve, we will do that which is asked, even though the knowledge is great. 7. Whither shall I go from your spirit? Or whither shall I flee from your presence? Now where shall I go? Where shall I flee? Where is there any place that the Lord is not? We'll learn that there is no place the Lord is not, just like He declared in Deuteronomy. There ain't no place you're going to get. If you go to heaven, I'll get you there. Sheol, I'll find you there. Or at the bottom of the sea, we're going to find you. Wherever you're at, there's no place you can go from the presence of the Lord, from Hashem. That presence, it's the respect, that understanding that He give you, and that the fact that you have it is the fact that He is. 8. If I ascend up into heaven, you art there. If I make my bed in the netherworld, behold, you art there. If I ascend up into heaven, just like I said, if I go up into heaven, or heaven in, and we can look at this from a aspect of the body. We can say the heavens are that above us. We'll find out the Lord's work's there. And if we ascend into the netherworld, or the grave, the netherworld is Sheol, and that is the place where the grave exists. See, the grave doesn't exist in heaven, but exists in the netherworld. Behold, you art there. And just like we have said, Hashem is God of heaven and earth. There's no where He's not. He's the God of your understanding, and He is the God of the earth itself. 9. If I take the wings of the morning and dwell in the uttermost parts of the sea, if I should take these wings of the morning, wings are borders, and that which is determined of the morning, and it's that light coming forth, that understanding rising up, and dwell in the uttermost parts of the sea. The sea is that place where understanding and knowledge is being purified. It's in that place. That's all the other nations. We could look at it that way. 10. Even there would your hand lead me, and your right hand would hold me up. Even there, in that place of purification, would your hand lead me, your work lead me. That it's what's going to do the job anyway. Your right hand, that correct, great, mighty, powerful work would hold me. It's going to sustain us. It's going to be what gets us through. 11. And if I say, surely the darkness shall envelop me, and the light about me shall be night. And if I was to say, surely the darkness envelops me, there is no way no one can see me now. I'm hid in the dark. This darkness, these dark places even, the light about me, and the light about me shall be night. And this light, or this knowledge, this wisdom even, about me would be like a darkness. We would find out, 12, even the darkness is not too dark for you. But the night shineth as the day, the darkness is even as the light. This darkness is not too dark for you, Lord, Hashem. Why? The darkness is even like an understanding. The darkness itself is like a light, tells us something. We can see this. And the night shineth as the day. The night, the great darkness that's we find it's in the earth. That's the lack of night, is simply to be in the darkness, to be without the understanding that the Lord give you. And this shines as the day. It shines forth. The darkness does, even as the day, even as the light, even as this understanding. The darkness is even as light. And the darkness is just like light. It's just like an understanding. It's actually a witness to those who already do what they have been asked to do. 13, for you have made my reins. You have knit me together in my mother's womb. For you have made my reins. You've made these things to control me. You've made these things that, just like we've spoke of this, a bridle and a bit in the mouth of a horse, in the mouth of a great power and strength. These reins, this law, these ordinances, these statutes that keep us in the way. You have knit me together in my mother's womb. That while I was yet in creation, before I was created, we'll find out this. We're talking about this kingship, and that's what we're talking about. This that was created before. It was already done. It was already appointed. These things were already made evident. 14, I will give thanks unto you, for I am fearfully and wonderfully made. Wonderful art your works, and that my soul knoweth right well. I will give thanks unto you, for I am fearfully and wonderfully made. And so are we, once we have that understanding that Hashem gives us. That it's called His ordinances and His statutes, His laws, which He puts in your own heart. He gives you that knowledge of right. Let you know between right and wrong, and you know right well, because it's always going to be your choice. 15, my frame was not hidden from you when I was made in secret and curiously wrought in the lowest parts of the earth, and my frame was not hidden from you. And this frame here is my substance, my structure. It's the references to bones, and we're going to find out, because that's my framework. That's that which it's mounted upon, and it's the kingship. It's the kingship. That's what That's what gives it its structure. And it was when it was made in secret and curiously wrought in this lowest parts of the earth for flesh, to rule over those even of flesh. That's what the king's job was, because we find out they wasn't keeping the law. And this wouldn't be the first time that men had kings, but it would be the first time Israel had a king. And God was going to write it down, hold it. We have it accountable. This understanding, this knowledge was already present. David already had this understanding. 16, your eyes did see my unformed substance, and in your book they were all written, even the days that were fashioned, when as yet there was none of them. And this is what we're talking about, because your eyes, that's the Lord's eyes, Hashem's eyes, He did see it, mine unformed substance. He done knew what was going to happen. And in your book they were all written, and it was written down. We can find it from the beginning. The Lord did declare it. Even the days that were fashioned. Even all these days, these periods, these of light and darkness, as we're going to find out, that's what the king was being used for. They were fashioned, just as it was from the beginning, when as yet there was none of them, because the Lord done knew what the purpose was. He was making an example, and He always has been. He's not going to stop until you wake up. 17. How weighty also are your thoughts unto me, O God, how great is the sum of them. How weighty also are your thoughts unto me. These weighty, great, magnificent, powerful, having great substance, rich in a sense of a lot of wealth are your thoughts. These thoughts that the Lord has put into it, this comparison that He's used it for an example. And how great is the sum of them, how marvelous are the number of these thoughts the Lord put into it. Just like He did with the law and His ordinances and statutes. See, He's already got all the thoughts you'll ever muster in it. All your meditations, He's done decided it. He's done got it rolled up in it. And this is what we get from the examples that was made. We not only have the example of the priesthood, we have the example of the king, and we have the overall example that God has made, or the Lord Hashem, that holy name, in the earth through the use of witnesses, darkness and light. 18. If I would count them, they are more than the number of the sand. Were I to come to the end of them, I would still be with you. And if I would count them, all these knowledge, all the understandings, all this wisdom that's rolled up into it, the number of these thoughts is more than the number of the sand. You can't count all the understanding that's rolled up into it. Were I to come to the end of them, to reach the end of all that, I would still be with you. I would still be standing there with the Lord. Even if I come to the end of days, there would we still be. 19. If you but would slay the wicked, O God, depart from me, therefore, you men of blood. And if He would but yet slay the wicked, for what, O God, Shem, that holy name, will find out the Lord has done slain the wicked. The wicked are slain in their sin that they do transgress by. Therefore depart from me, therefore, you men of blood. And these men of blood, these men of sin, these men of wickedness, who are taken in their sin, they are filthy, they are dirty, they have touched the sin. 20. Who utter your name with wicked thought, they take it for falsehood, even your enemies. And these are the ones that utter the Lord's name, Hashem's name, with wicked thought. And see, it's for falsehood. And these are the enemies of the Lord. These are the adversities of God, these ones that are adverse to, these ones that do not obey, do not observe His understanding, and that would be the law. And they use it for a different source. They use it to control. They use it to gain wealth. They don't use it to empower you like the Lord wants to do. 21. Do not I hate them, O Lord, that hate you? And do not I strive with those that rise up against you? Do not I hate them? I hate them in the sense that they hate the Lord. And they also make themselves my enemy when they make the Lord their enemy, because they cause me to struggle. They cause strife upon me. And I strive with those that rise up against you. And strive against, it's in a similitude that everybody's going to die, and they're kind of dragging me along with them. And we're struggling, trying to stay alive. 22, I hate them with the utmost hatred. I count them my enemies, and I hate them with the utmost hatred. This, with all the ability there is, there's no more substance of hatred to hate with. I count them my enemies, because they have risen up against the Lord to disobey, to dishonor, to disrespect, and to cast down His law and His ordinances and His statutes that He give me for my own good. 23, search me, O God, and know my heart. Try me and know my thoughts. Search me, purify me, run me through the grinder, so to speak, O God. Know my heart, know me inside and out. Try me, purify me, prove me. Know my thoughts, my intentions, my plans, 24, and see if there be any way in me that is grievous, and lead me in the way of everlasting. See if there's any way in me that's grievous, because we want to purge it out. We want to get rid of it. And lead me in these ways of everlasting, these ways that are eternal, these ways that give life, these ways that cause to live. It's the law. Well, moving forward, Psalms 140. Turn and return.